The sun is so bright. I can barely keep my eyes open.
Midday sun, the one time of day that all photographers dread. Harsh shadows, squinting eyes, and unflattering light that seems impossible to control. But what if I told you there's a way to take control back from the sun, to balance the light exactly how you want it, even at high noon? In today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to master your flash during the daytime, how to use it to fill shadows naturally, to overpower the sun, and to create a soft, balanced, flattering light for your subject anywhere at any time. Welcome back to Light It Right. We're now halfway through this course and this is lesson 5. And today's focus is all about using your flash during the daytime. In lesson 4, we talked about controlling your flash power and using modifiers so that you can shape your light. And now we're going to build on that, taking everything that you've learned about your flash indoors and taking it outdoors to use it in the most challenging situation of all, bright sunlight. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to enhance your outdoor portraits using your flash without it looking unnatural. You'll also learn how to balance your flash with the ambient light for the most realistic and natural looking portraits and skin tones. And you'll be able to shoot confidently daytime portraits with flash that look intentional and not accidental. So let's start by understanding the challenge that we're faced with. Midday sun is strong, it's harsh, and it creates dark shadows, especially under the eyes and around the nose. It's a situation that's high in contrast but low in control. That's where flash can become your best friend. When we use a flash outdoors, we're not trying to replace the sun, we're balancing it. Think of your flash as the tool you use to control the contrast ratio between how bright your subject is in comparison to how bright the background is. If your subject is too dark in comparison to the background, we'll lift them using the flash. And if the sun is too strong and you want full creative control, that's when we overpower it. So let's start with fill flash, because this technique is going to be the one you use the most when using your flash outdoors. The aim of fill flash is to reduce the shadows on your subject, not dominate them. My typical setup for this type of shot is as follows. My shutter speed will be at around 1/500th of a second. My aperture will be around 2.8 and my ISO will be at around 100. And my flash will be set to around 1/8 power and will be placed inside a small softbox. I'll have this positioned just off camera to my left. Remember, the goal here is not to make it obvious that you've used a flash. It should look like natural, soft light, just like the sun's decided to be a little kinder to your subject. You need to start by setting your ambient first. That's your base. Then you need to increase the power of your flash until the shadows are just starting to lift. Usually, flash is 1 to 2 stops below your ambient exposure for the most natural look. So now let's talk about overpowering the sun. This is when you want your flash to take full control of the lighting. This is great for dramatic portraits, backlighting your subject, or when you want to darken the background and keep your subject perfectly lit. My setup and settings here would be something like My shutter speed will be around 1/2000th of a second. My aperture is still at around f2.8 and my ISO will be around 100. Obviously at these speeds I'm going to be shooting in high speed sync, just like we mentioned in the last video. Here I would have my flash at full power at around 1 meter away from the subject. And again my modifier would be a small softbox to my left just off camera. The only difference this time is I would have it slightly higher than the subject and angled down to mimic the natural direction of the sunlight. When you do use your flash this way, make sure that you pay close attention to the colour balance. Daylight is around 5600 Kelvin and your flash will match that. But if you're under clouds or in shade, you might want to warm it up slightly using a gel just for consistency. Also, you need to remember that the closer the light is to your subject, the softer it'll appear. So even in harsh sunlight, you can still get flattering, controlled light just by bringing that flash in nice and close to your subject. Flash isn't just for harsh sunlight. It's equally powerful in shaded areas or during golden hour. In the shade, your light is even and it's flat. So use your flash to reintroduce some direction to it. Aim it from one side or even try using a reflector opposite your flash to bounce back some fill light. My go-to settings here when shooting in the shade or during golden hour is something like this. My shutter speed will be at 1/250th of a second. My aperture is still at f2.8 and my ISO will creep up slightly to either 200 or 400 depending on the amount of available ambient light at the time. Usually here my flashlight will be at around 1/16th power. All I'm looking for is for it to add a little bit of light back in to shape around the face. During golden hour, your flash becomes your polishing tool. The sun is giving you beautiful, warm tones. So use the flash gently just to lift shadows without killing the mood. Try adding a half CTO gel to your flash just to match that warm sunlight. This way, everything should just blend seamlessly and your image will still remain natural and cinematic. So that is how you master your flash during the daytime. From subtle fill to overpowering the sun and that creative control in the shade or during golden hour. So this week I have a challenge for you. I want you to go out and shoot me 3 portraits using your flash. 1 in the harsh sunlight, 1 in full shade and 1 during golden hour. Use what we've covered to balance the ambient light and the flash in each of the scenarios. Then why not post your results to my Instagram page at Ben Kirby Shoots using the hashtag #LightItRight. And as always, if you find this video helpful, then why not drop it a like? It really does help more and more photographers discover the series. And of course, if you haven't already, then hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss lesson 6, where we'll step it up with multiple flashes, indoors and outdoors, for even more creative control. I would also love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me what part of daytime flash you find the most challenging. Is it getting that natural look in harsh sunlight? Or maybe it's balancing the background exposure? So drop your questions or any experiences in the comments below. I'll make sure that I reply to all of them. And that's it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.